Welcome, everyone. This is Tracy Una Wagner with Versatile Inspirations, and Happy New Year. Thank you for being so patient with me as I went through the transition of our golden retriever, our golden goofy boy mouse. It happened last week, and I was supposed to do this last week, but I needed a moment, and so I took that moment, and I so appreciate you giving me the time to do that. Folly's going to make an appearance here in a second. You'll probably see her. Oh boy. Yeah, the cats like it when I start talking. They just have to come around and put their tail everywhere. So, okay, she's going to leave now. So thank you again for giving me the space and the opportunity to grieve his absence. I totally appreciate that. But today is party time. So we are going to be looking at the Foresight for 2019 each month. I like to do this yearly because it kind of gives me a look into what might be coming up, and that way I can plan and I can kind of see in advance what the energies may be like. And because I have free will and you have free will, we can modify how we react to things, how we go about doing things, and it's just a helpful little tool that we have at our disposal. So how I use how I do the foresights are with tarot cards or oracle cards. If you have oracle cards, those work just as well. And I also use pendulums just to sometimes make sure of the card that I've picked, if I might feel like there might be some doubts, or just to make sure that that is where I'm going for the month. I don't always use a pendulum, and it's just another tool. So if you have a pendulum and you feel comfortable using it, then you can ask your pendulum just to make sure that that is what is supposed to happen. Now, I've put together a sheet that has the all 12 of the months on it, and it's got a space for a picture if you want to add a picture for the month, and also just some lines next to it, just so that you can offer your ideas on the card that you've chosen or that has chosen you. I usually put it in my journal or my date book, and so that I can kind of look forward and look back into it as I'm planning my month or planning my quarter. I can see what the card is that I've picked, and then I can adjust myself and adjust my ideas maybe accordingly. So to begin with, if you have your oracle cards or your tarot cards on you, some people cleanse them. Now, I set mine out usually 24 hours or at least 5 to 10 hours before I'm going to do a reading. And that also includes my yearly tarot reading. So I usually put those out either under the moon or under the sun, whichever kind of calls to me, with some crystals. And you don't have to have crystals necessarily, because the rays of the Luna and the rays of the sun, solar sun, will actually cleanse the cards for you. I put crystals on it just so that it really just gets rid of all of the past readings I may have done, or just anything that's possibly in there. I just get rid of all of it. It also helps to charge it with that divine light, so it comes through, and because it's crystal, it has all the different colors. It's not just one color, and it just kind of adds all of those beautiful messages that the colors would add into the cards. also by cleansing as well. So it's just an amazing little thing you can just set right on top of the cards, and it cleanses and it purifies and it just adds that divine touch. Also, we are gifted with some beautiful things called palm chakras. And so the chakras in your palms will actually do the same thing. The radiation that comes from your palms is pure divine light. That's why your palms are very healing when you send or receive the energy that comes from them. So that's why Reiki is so powerful. That's why energy healing is so powerful, because those chakras that are in our hands, also in our feet, they are just pure divine light. And so if you don't have crystals, or you forgot to set your cards out, or whatever the case, to clear the cards, you can also put them between your palms and just send out an affirmation, or just call on the angels or divine light or source, or just your own will, your own chakra energy to cleanse and clear the cards. So that works just as well to do that. And if you're in a pinch, or if you're somewhere doing readings for people and you forgot your crystal, or you just kind of aren't sure if the cards are clear, you can just set them between your palms and ask that the energy clear and cleanse those cards. Also, another way to cleanse and clear the cards is just to wrap on them and then blow that, just swoosh that energy away. And then I usually do it 3 times on either side and just swish that energy away so that they're just clear and ready to use. Also, if you have been attuned to Reiki, you can send Reiki to them, and we're going to send Reiki to them through our palm chakras. And so we do that as well as if we just went ahead and sent energy through our palm chakras to cleanse and clear the cards. Lots of different ways to cleanse and clear cards. All you need is you. Just even envisioning and thinking of the cards being cleared, they'll be cleared. It's your intention. So there's lots of also different ways to read cards. Now, I just usually kind of go through and just kind of feel the energy of a card, and then that's a card I pick. Or if one falls out while I'm trying to pick a card, I usually pick that card, or in addition to the first card, I'll pick that card. Some people take all of the cards in the deck and just put them all over the floor or a table, and that's just fine too. That's a good way, actually, if you want to use your pendulum. Your pendulum can help you actually locate which area of the cards, of the pile of cards, that maybe is calling to be picked. And then from there, you can narrow it down. That's a good way to do it as well. Some people just randomly just kind of open it up and take the first card that's on there. That's okay too. You are going to find a way that is easiest and of the best, highest good for you on how to pick your cards, and just go with that. That is by far how you should be doing it. You shouldn't try and mimic someone else, although you can try and see if that works for you, a different person, and maybe that will be more helpful to you. But whatever feels good to you as far as picking cards, that's how it should be done. So, oh, and with that sheet, if you need that sheet, I'm going to put it down in the link below of the YouTube video, and in anywhere that I have this video located, you can just click on that link and download your sheets so that you can follow along if you don't want to put it in your day planner or in just a sheet of paper or a journal. If you want to use those sheets, feel free to use those sheets and just write down your notes when you decide to pick a card. So with that being said, let's go ahead and see what the overall feeling of 2019 is going to be. So let's just put those cards and just kind of shuffle them around and or spread yours out however you want to do them. And mine is Queen of Fire. So it is confident, warm, intelligent, and graceful. So it says stretch your wings and fly. Don't underestimate yourself. Assert your independence and creativity. Now, your card may be different, and that's great. And you also may have your card in what I call the protective state. So it may be reversed, and you can choose to read your cards that way if you want. You do not have to. You can read your card straight up. It's not necessary to have them in the protective state. In fact, it's easier when you first start to actually have it in the upright position, just so that you can get to know the cards a little bit better, especially if you're working with tarot. Now, the Queen of Fire, yours may not have Queen of Fire, especially if you're not dealing with the Angel Tarot cards, which that's the deck that I'm using, is the Angel Tarot cards. These are a little different, but basically the feelings are the same. So this one is, there again, that's going to be my yearly, my overall yearly is going to be Queen of Fire, which is interesting because with it saying stretch your wings and fly, that's exactly what I intend to do in 2019 is just go for it. No holds barred, get stuff out there, stop procrastinating, stop feeling like I'm not good enough, and just do it. That is pretty much my goal for 2019. So it's interesting that card came up. All right, so let's see what we're going to be getting for January of 2019. Now, in between picking your cards, if you want, because what I do is I sometimes send like a message just through my thoughts of I'm going to be picking, this is for all of 2019. So in between, you can put your palms together on the card deck like this, and there again, you can ask for it to be cleared and cleansed and ready for the next reading. And that's as easy as it gets. So this time, the intention will be for January 2019. Overall feeling of January 2019. What is it? So let's see. Oh, so mine is the Star. So it is one of the major arcana, which is a star, and it's Archangel Jophiel. And it says, happy times. Make positive, optimistic, long-term plans on the right path. So that is wonderful too, since I am this month. I have been already, even though we had the loss at the very end of 2018, when 2019 arrived, it was full bore forward. And even though I didn't do my Facebook Lives and I wasn't out there for my YouTube and I wasn't able to do this, I was working in the background and doing work that I was able to put down and take another moment if I needed to grieve or to just accept the non-presence that was in the room, not in the room, and just thank Mouse's spirit. And I don't know about you for losses, but when that happens, it's like you start thinking about all the other losses that you've had along your journey and those in spirit. And I just talk with each and every one of them just to let them know how truly special they still are and how much I want to hear from them. And I hope they're making their home back in spirit just as beautiful as what it was here on earth. So that just, when I'm able to do that, then that's wonderful, and we can move forward, and then I can get back to work again. So even though I wasn't on, I was on. So that card is very spot on. So what you can do now is either take the sheets that you've printed out that I've created for you, or you can put them in your journal, just write them down on a scrap piece of paper, or write them in your date book under the first day of the month, or if it has like a calendar, how it has the whole month listed, you can just write it next to the name of the month, just so that you can kind of keep track of the cards that you've picked, and we can move forward. So that was January. I'd love to hear also what cards you've picked. So let me know what cards you have for each of the month. I think it's interesting, to say the least, on what themes come up for everyone and how closely they seem to resemble what, if you've created a word for your year or created ideas or goals that you would like to get to. It's actually very interesting how well they align with those things. It's interesting. It's all about your intentions. It's all about the energy sent out. So there again, cleanse the cards. Get ready to do February. So February 2019. Let's see what it has in store. Ooh, I'm going to pick this one because it's stuck out there. Oh, interesting. Justice. So that's Archangel Raguel. And it says, fair and just decisions. Do what you know is right. Stand up for your beliefs. Okay. That will be a good one to actually just realize in our thoughts, or in my thought, that even though I may be swayed to maybe do something that in my gut I don't feel like it's not exactly right, I need to be aware of that and not do that. I need to do what I feel is right. And that will actually keep me up on the straight and narrow of who I am and what I feel my gifts are for the world. Keeps you at your highest and best good as well. Wonderful. So that was February. So now let's go to March. So let's cleanse and clear the cards. And now let's go to March 2019. I love doing this at the beginning of the year because it really helps me stay focused. And it actually helps me create my month's webinars and the things that I want to put out there. It's very helpful. So next one is for March, King of Fire, and it says motivational, idealistic, ambitious, and charismatic. Now, interestingly enough, every single one of these cards have been in the upright position. You may get yours in the protective state, and that is just fine. If you want to read them that way, go right ahead. So, like with this one that's motivational, if it was in the protective state, I may think that this card may be telling me that I may have low energy. I may not be as motivated, ambitious. I could be not ambitious at all. I may have a month where I need to step back and kind of just take a minute, like I had at the beginning of January. I may need to focus on self-care. And so with that card in the protective state, that may come to you. And what happens to me, and I don't know if it does this for you, but when I pick a card and I read it or I look at the picture, I have ideas that come into my thoughts. I just have these little spirit winks that tell me maybe how I feel about the card. What are my impressions? And they just come to me. Those are perfect for you to place down, write those alongside the card, because even though it may not exactly correspond with your card, there are reasons that those ideas and messages are coming to you. And so write those down. There may be a reason, and you may not know that reason until it comes up to you during that month. But just write it down so that you're aware. It's amazing what Spirit will send to us when we're listening. So at the bottom of this, it says focus, focus, focus. Communicate with vision and be a leader. Advice from someone creative. So you may get some creative, I may get some creative advice, which is awesome. Always loving that creative advice. Perfect. So that was March of 2019. So cleanse and clear the cards again. Go ahead and cleanse and clear the cards. And then get ready for April of 2019. So April of 2019 is going to be interesting for me because last year at the end of April, I broke my ankle, which took me out of commission for a very, very long time, most of the rest of 2019 or 2018. And for April, on my anniversary of my break, I plan on doing a 5K. So April will be an interesting month. That's just something that I plan on doing. So we'll see if that's in the cards. Okay, so this one actually is Knight of Water. It says emotional, romantic, enthusiastic, and contemplative. Falling in love or wedding proposals, the need to balance emotions, an invitation to a social event. So hopefully that invitation to a social event will have something to do with that 5K, maybe. But also balancing my emotions. That is actually a good card for that month because it was a supercharged month last year. And so being able to move through that and the fear of breaking my ankle again or hurting myself is kind of there sometimes. And so I am more mindful, but you just never know. But what I can do is I can call on the angels and have them protect me and create a bubble of protection all the time. And I can just choose to be more mindful of what I'm doing. All right, so let's go ahead and clear those cards again. And then we will get set for May of 2019. So what will be for May of 2019? Here again, I'd love to hear what your cards are and what you feel they mean to you. I'd love to hear, so feel free to let me know. So this one is the High Priestess, and it's Archangel Haniel. It says, listen to your intuition, have patience, consider carefully what you want before acting. So with this, I just personally need to make sure that I am listening to my intuition. It's sometimes easier to just go with the ego and just kind of go and do. But when we really truly listen, we can get a lot of information about what's coming up, what we need to do to create a healthier environment for ourselves, or maybe if we need to change something in our careers or our life or our home, then we can do that as well. Just listening to the intuition is wonderful advice. All righty, so we're gonna clean and clear the cards again. And this time we're going to read for June of 2019. So June of 2019, let's see. Oop, the cards are kind of sticky this month. Let's see. So 5 of Fire. It says competing goals, bothersome details, conflict with others. So it looks like June, I'm going to need to be very mindful and very aware of just maybe some things that may feel like they're getting on my nerves, or maybe somebody's something or another is just raking at my nerves, breaking at my last nerve of the month. But that's a good card that tells you that not everything seems like a bed of roses, or you can't see everything through rose-colored glasses. But with the knowledge that I have gained for June of 2019, I'm going to actually be able to modify how I react so I don't overreact during that month. Wonderful. All right, we've gone through 6 months. So see, it can go very fast. And just like with that last month with June, it was a little sticky, and now I know why. It kind of needed the exact right card to come up, and so it being sticky, they kind of stuck together. They wouldn't move freely, and so it definitely had the one card that was letting me know that, you know, June might be kind of a difficult month for you nerve-wise. So just kind of realize that and prepare for it. And that's what the foresights are for. They're just wonderful, energetic forecasts for the year ahead. Alrighty, so clean and clear those cards. Make sure that they're clean and clear so that they're ready to do July of 2019. So let's see what this one is. Oh, this one came out again. Oh, wow, that's interesting. So that's Foresight. Interesting that the summer months are coming up with this. So this says, after that, June, contentment, peace, and abundance, a happy home life, the successful completion of a project. Perfect. That's exactly what I mean. I need lots of completions this year, but good to know that maybe one of my big projects, which I'm hoping is what I'm thinking, will actually come to completion. That will be fabulous. So there again, even if it's happy news, even though it may be looking at life through rose-colored glasses, what you really need to think about is, especially with something that you're hoping for, is we have to go back to the law of attraction. And what does the law of attraction say? Attraction inside of it, which equals action. So action equals attraction. We have to create the environment for the manifestation or the attraction to happen. So when we think about this completion, maybe for me, this project completion is wonderful. So when we think about that, one, if we're crystal clear on what it is that we want to see completed, very helpful, because then the universe doesn't have to work as hard to figure out what it is that needs to be completed. Two, when we make the space in our life for that manifestation or that attraction, that law of attraction to occur, then it's placed in our lives a lot easier because there's a space for it to happen. So just realize that if we're looking at something that we're going to be receiving, hopefully, then we want to make the space for it and be crystal clear on what it is that we want to manifest or attract into our lives. So, fabulous. So let's clean and clear the cards. Just clean and clear those cards. You can either send the Reiki, or you can just use your palm chakras to cleanse and clear those cards. It's perfect. Then they're all ready for you to actually read again. So the next one, so we just did July, so let's do August of 2019. Now see, they're starting to be a little more open. So it's interesting how the months are just different, but you know what? That's why I use this as a tool. Oop. And this one is King of Air. It says brilliant, impartial, professional, diplomatic. I love the picture on that. I know I've got the green screen on, but it's really pretty. And it says, speak your mind with confidence, seek out professional advice, balance mental and emotional considerations. Good. All right, so that was August of 2019. Cleanse and clear the cards. And the reason I keep doing this is because if I do this, my microphone, I'm kind of putting things in front of it, so you might not be able to hear me as well. So when I do this, I'm getting the cards out of the way of the microphone so that you can hear me. All right, so that was August of 2019. So let's do September of 2019. Ooh. Oh, so September 2019, is the Chariot, which is Archangel Metatron. Love Metatron. It says an important achievement, self-discipline and willpower, public recognition. What a great card. I love that. So August 2019. There again, all these cards you can write down and then just write down some ideas. Like with July, I kind of know what could be coming, so I'm really excited about July. And it's only January, but write down those little ideas that come to you when you pick your card. There are reasons for them coming to you, and so just pick that card and just write down any little messages that come to you, whether you see it on the card itself or you just kind of intuitively get a spirit wink and just go with it. It's perfect. It's for you for a reason. Okay, cleanse and clear the cards again. And now we're going to do October of 2019. One of my favorite months. I love October. I love the Halloween time, the thinning of the veil. Just that is a wonderfully powerful time, I find. Ooh, lots of fire cards. Let's see if I can. Ooh, that's a lot of green in there. That's Ace of Fire. So that says an exciting new opportunity, career advancement. Change your life now. That is a lot of information on one card. So that is a great one for October, which is one of my favorite months. So it sounds like it's going to be busy. All right, so cleanse and clear the cards with your palm chakras again. And then we can do November of 2019. Perfect. And this one is Ace of Water. And it says falling in love or the resurgence of a relationship, spiritual growth and enhanced intuition, a new home. Nice. So I'm just going to write down a couple things that kind of came to me during just even hearing that. But the idea to me that came to me when I saw that was of kindred spirits. So even though there was only one person on this, what I found was that it was like, oh, there's actually a little killer whale down there on the bottom. So actually that kind of goes with what I was thinking. It's going to be a convoluted thing that I say, but what I saw and what I felt at the time when I picked the card was about like-minded individuals and having like-minded individuals forming a group or coming back together or coming together. So I'm not sure exactly how that works out, but even the resurgence of relationship, it's almost like that, but it's almost like people that you kind of know that are kind of in the peripheral of your life. it felt like the like-minded ones come back into my life together for something. Maybe that's spiritual growth. So that is November. Oh my gosh. So let's cleanse and clear. Oh. Cleanse and clear the cards again. And now for the last month of the year, we're going to do December 2019. I would love to hear what you get. Please let me know. I just find it so interesting that if a theme comes up for you, that how it manifests itself throughout the rest of the year for you. Oh, see, that one popped out. Actually, there's two. Huh, that's interesting. So the first one that popped out was Unity, and that's with Archangel Sandalphon. It says traditional viewpoints or methods, spiritual organizations, seek out mentors and like-minded friends. Sounds like the end of the year, that's what's going to probably happen in 2019. See, there again, there's that theme that there's a lot of business stuff this year and a lot of projects that are coming to completion. And it sounds like at the end of the year, that's when maybe groups of us get together to just enhance our spirituality or our spiritual growth. And the second one is Page of Water. It says intuitive, sensitive, artistic, and friendly. A new person enters your life. A relationship begins a new phase. Heightened psychic abilities. Is that just so interesting? My goodness. I mean, all of these cards just really seem to delve into growing spiritually, enhancing your spirituality, heightening your psychic abilities, your intuition, and not alone, which is interesting. It's with groups of people. So, which is neat because I will be launching my first course very, very soon. Since I'm doing all of this by myself, I have to learn the ropes on how to work with the video stuff, on how to create the videos, on how to edit the videos, how to make them how I want them to look, and voiceovers. Oh my gosh, just tons of information. And then also with creating my own book. I wrote my book last year, and I'm going to be self-publishing it, but learning how to do it the correct way, it takes a while. It doesn't just happen. I wish it did. It just doesn't. I've had the editor edit, and it's ready to go. It's just a matter of putting it all together, which is what I think came up in July. I think all of it kind of comes together in July, even though my courses are going to be out very soon, and I'm looking at producing at least one a month this whole year. So the reading was very much accurate in how I envisioned my 2019. So it's very interesting. Love the cards as tools for your foresight. I hope you do too. And I hope that you let me know what your cards are saying to you. There again, if you don't want to write it in a journal or on a piece of paper or in your day planner or your just planner, I've included link so that you can download a couple pieces of paper that will actually you can list those on there and any thoughts or ideas that go along with those cards that you picked. I hope you have a fantastic start to your 2019. Thank you again for spending this time with me today. I so appreciate it. And as always, I'm sending you and yours love, light, and eternal blessings. Take care.